What's up, gang? Case here with our at-home strength work for Monday, February 15th. 3 rounds through a strength circuit today, working our hinging pattern as well as our upper body pressing. Movement number one is going to be 10 RDL. Hip width stance, going heavy, not as heavy as we can, but moderately heavy, so that once you hit rep number 10, you have a couple reps left in the tank with good technique. If you don't have enough weight options, or if your weight option isn't heavy enough to make that the case, then slow your reps down a little bit. Give yourself some more time under tension in order to make each one of those reps a little more difficult. If you're using one dumbbell, just hold on the outside heads. If you're using two dumbbells, just one dumbbell in each hand, whatever's going to get you to the proper load. Start standing tall. Once again, hip width stance, toes straight forward. And then from there, hips go back, slight bend in the knee. Try to keep your neck in line with the rest of your spine. Not arching our low back here, staying flat, but keeping our middle tight, like somebody's going to give you a gut check. And then from there, once you feel those hamstrings loaded up, squeeze your butt, stand tall. So putting those reps together, control to the bottom, squeeze, really no time at the top. As soon as you hit that tall standing position, loading right back down into that next rep. Go as deep as you can while still keeping that low back flat. So your cue is if you start to round, not just low back, but even upper back or low back, or if your knees start to bend some more, then you know you've gone too deep. Stop at that point and then fire back to the top. After that, rest roughly 30 seconds, and then we've got 10 split stance RDLs per leg. So very similar motion to the last one. It's just we're really loading up only one leg at a time. Your other foot is just going to be back in a little kickstand position. So when you get set up for this, you can do a little test by lifting that toe to make sure that your weight is distributed primarily over this front leg. So you want to go a little bit lighter on this one since we're working one leg at a time. And then the hinge mechanics of that front leg are exactly the same as we just used on that RDL. Slight bend in the knee, hips are going straight back, trying to keep hips and shoulders square towards the ground, only loading as deep as we can while keeping that back flat and no extra knee bend. On those, do 10 on one side, take just a few breaths, and then hit 10 on the other side. Finishing up with 10 to 20 push-ups today. So that's such a big range just to cater to different strength levels here. Really what I'm looking for is almost a max effort set. So once you get to that point where you feel like you only have a couple reps left in the tank, that's when I want you to go ahead and call your set on each round today. On those push-ups, remember, hands really are right beneath the shoulders. We don't want to get out too wide. And then when we come down to the bottom, those hands are going to finish right here next to our rib cage. Fingertips should stay straight forward. Keeping that plank is one of the most important points of the push-up. So straight line from our heel all the way to the top of our head. And when we come down to the ground, we want to touch our chest and our belly. These quads should stay off the ground, so you keep those knees stiff and locked out. And then be sure to get all the way back up to full extension every time. Instead of going to knees, if you're not able to get at least 10 from the toes, I'd rather you go up to a box for that elevated push-up, because that's going to allow you to keep that long plank, work that full lever. Part of what you get out of that push-up is not just the shoulder strength component, but you're building that core strength, and you're also learning how to keep your core braced while using that shoulder strength at the same time. So that's why it's typically more beneficial to go for that long body position, working off your toes, and to elevate your push-up up if you need to. Once again, get at least 10 reps, but going to that point where you only have a couple reps left in the tank, so somewhere in that 10 to 20 range each set. Rest 30 seconds between all of your movements today. Pick a load that's moderately difficult. You should have a couple reps left in the tank at the end of each set on each of these movements. Good luck on today's strength work, and we'll see you back soon for our Metcon.